Perfect. Yes. So I run KePSLA. We are a 4-year-old online review management and guest intelligence business. We are based out of Bangalore in the south of India. We are 22 people, largely tech driven. We have offices in Canada, Ottawa, in Dallas, in New York, and in Sao Paulo, in Brazil. We work with about on last count 3,018 customers. We are in 181 locations, and we are in 45 countries. Um, I'll kind of quickly take you through what our USPs are, and then show some of the things that we do very differently in our business and guest intelligence. To start with, yes, we have got a whole bunch of recognitions. Focusrite rated us as among the top travel innovators in India. Locally, from the governments in India, etc., we've got multiple recognitions. We've partnered all of the large players in the market. In terms of what our competencies are, uh, we do two things well. One is the ability to extract user generated content. We have our own NLP, natural language processing, and sentiment analysis engine. This is completely proprietary. We built it on our own. We have access to 60 plus sources in about 30 different languages, where we source different types of user generated content. We build sentiment on it, and then we show this to our customers. The second thing is our ability to have unobtrusive access to guest intelligence, or sorry, or to guest happiness, which means that at every point of the guest's journey with you, have your hand on the pulse of your guests, so that you know how happy, unhappy they are. And what this results in, of course, is actionable insights, which help us get to 3,000 hotels, like I mentioned. One of the things that we do when we sign up a contract is we guarantee you a return on investment of all the money that you've spent with us in the first 3 months of your working with us. And we have consistently seen that we grow business by about 26%. The direct business grows by about 26% for customers who work with us for a minimum of 1 year. Now, typically a guest journey works like this. Uh, how do I start thinking about travel? First, I get inspired. I get inspired by various sources. I may see a documentary, a movie, or something like that to get inspired to travel. And once I get inspired, I do research on where should I go, etc. Then the third is how do I buy? Then I go there, I experience, and then finally, if I'm happy, I advocate it. Now, the first of our product, which is Review Intelligence, has the ability to help your guests to be part of this entire journey. So we can help you inspire research, help them buy, experience, and advocate your product across this entire space. And then our next product, the feedback management, comes in after the booking happens. So we have pre check in, during stay, and post checkout surveys that happen in real time. Standard stuff, you might say. Now, the way we kind of work with hotels is as follows. We follow, one is what we call a proactive method of guest management, which is through our feedback management system. And then there is a reactive method, which is the reputation management, which is the online reviews that we extract. The moment when we sign up a customer, the first thing we do in our audit is to understand what the hotel thinks of as their guest journey. Now, based on your individual destination and the type of hotel you are, your guest can have multiple journeys. So if you're a resort at a beach, your guest journey is very different from your a ski resort, or you're a business destination, or you're a honeymoon destination, etc. So understanding the uniqueness of your hotel property is key to the success of our solution with you. So we spent about 3 days sitting with you to understand what is your typical guest journey. Based on that, individually for each hotels, we build metrics that are relevant to them. It is not that you become one more part of hundreds of thousands of hotel who get the same data. Your data will be very different from what the other 2,900 odd hotels get from us. And then we leave it to you to track, notify, and advise how this whole thing works. Now, I've just put a screen grab of how the guest journey looks on our site. And I want to highlight, and I picked this up because there is something very unique in this. Now, for this particular hotel, co-work is part of their guest journey. So they want us to measure co-work. Now, co-work is typically not a department that is measured in a hotel. Or for example, programming may not be a department that is measured in a hotel. So because this hotel wanted co-work to be measured, the quality of co-work to be measured, it was the NLP engine and the sentiment analysis was built in such a way that we could add co-work and do measurements of co-work across the entire customer journey. So which means that this customer journey was very specific to this particular hotel. And once you start tracking, then you are able to influence, upsell, cross-sell your customer based on how you're tracking each one or different types of customers across their entire journey. Now, let me show you some more bit of, I just showed some screen grabs again. Now, let's look at some of this. This is how typically our dashboards look. That if you were to look at, let's say, room as an example and a department, as we would call it, once the data starts accumulating and there is metadata available, we are able to give you a trend of how satisfied your customer is with the room, and then break down what is the overall experience that they are having with the room. So if you see here, there are close to about 20 different aspects within a room that get captured. And then that room is then divided into multiple KPIs or key performance indicators. So how is the AC of the room? Was it better than the air conditioning that was there in the restaurant? How was the service in the room? Was it better than the service at the swimming pool? So we are able to dive deeper into each aspect of your hotel service based on how you've planned your guest or guest journey. The second part of so this was the feedback management, which is a proactive way. So in the proactive method, the key is that you ensure that the pre-check-in process, the during stay process, makes the guest happy and make sure that the guest is does not leave your premise with any complaints or issues in hand. The second part of it is the reactive method of guest intelligence. Here it means that the guest is departed, and he or she now goes into social media to advocate the stay that they had, if it was positive or negative, and then the world gets to see it. So this is in some sense reactive, and important thing is when it's reactive, you need to be extremely agile to make sure that you are reacting very quickly to it. And that's what we would do. So the data that you get on social media sites is almost available real time with us, and then you can act on it really quickly with escalations, etc., that happen on time. Now, when we build this solution, we said that how do we ensure that one solution is useful for every part of the organization? So one is at the frontline staff. How can our solution help the frontline staff? So there's a whole bunch of activities that happen with the frontline staff, and and how that can help them. And one of our USPs, with which the frontline staff love, is that we have built direct connects with all content providers to push our reply to reviews directly to them without you having to sign up again on that specific extranet once there is a one-time mapping that gets completed. And this could be any source in the world. The second thing is for the mid management. How do we make sure that the head of departments, whether it is room, whether it is housekeeping, etc., are alive to the challenges that are there, that they face every day, and how they are able to solve it? We were in an event yesterday where I spoke largely about how we do a lot of gamification at the mid management and the frontline staff level, where there's a lot of encouragement, certificates that are pushed out, gift events that are given to make sure that the staff is happy to participate in improving their property, as well as to come often to our website. And then, of course, there's the senior management that we work with, which is where we give them strategic data points, which could be how competitors are working, how can you use the competitors' data to improve your services, and stuff like that. So all in all, if you were to break this into horizontals and verticals, we cover the entire customer journey with all of the required pre-check-in, during stay, post-checkout uh, activities that happen with the guest. And after the guest moves out, the ability to pull data from multiple sources, multiple languages, and the ability to interact with the guest. And when we say interact, there are three ways that we do it. One is, yeah, you can reply to a review and the reply goes directly to the site. Like I mentioned, you can directly talk to the guest through our solution because the email gets locked into our solution. Or three is, you can also talk to the guest through the OTA that the guest might have booked through, because they have some of those contacts that you may not have at some point in time. Now, I just put in a couple of slides to show you how our data representation goes. Very popular with our customers is the word cloud that we've built. So the word cloud kind of shows exactly what is the most used words that are coming out in reviews. These word cloud then again, based on how often it is used, there is the color varies, etc. We also have the rest of the stuff like NPS. We give sentiment score as well as the ORI, as we call it. So it's a very comprehensive tool that we've got. Now, this is one USP that I'd love to talk about, and we've done a lot of effort to put this together. And again, something that I spoke very highly in the event yesterday. One half of ensuring that there is strong positive guest experience in the hotel is to make sure that the guest gets a pleasant experience, because the employees are all aligned to the bigger role that you have in providing that service. Now, while there is enough of data that is available to pick up on how the guest enjoyed the stay, there isn't, or there never is, enough data on what are the challenges that the employee is facing to ensure that they make a happy customer. So we have a very powerful voice of employee solution. Here we integrate with any of the typical standard HRIS or human resource solutions that are there with corporations, and are able to generate surveys depending on again set rules that are set by the organization based on how customers are reacting. So if there's a whole bunch of, let's say, surveys that are coming which says that I didn't have a pleasant experience in the front office, we would involve the employees to answer similar questions to find out what their challenges are. Now, what we figured then out is that once you put both of this data together at a meta level, you can build amazing learning and development tools, especially if you're a large organization. So voice of customer given, voice of employee new, and then the ability to close that loop is when you put these two things together and make sure that your organization is building consistency in and excellence in not just the process, but also with the people and with technology. So this is a huge USP that we have vis-a-vis, I think, similar players in the market. Now, last question, last slide of mine. There is a whole bunch of data here, and let me take you through this because this is really important. Like I said, we guarantee a return on investment, and here is something that we've done consistently with a lot of our customers. So if you are an approximate 40-room hotel with $100 as your ADR, we can commit to you that you will end up saving by using a solution, and this is something that will go on as part of our contract, that you'll end up saving $120,000 if you work with us for more than a year. And this is something that we commit and write to you, and I've shared this there as to how that happens. The second thing is, we leverage some cost benefits that we get being based out of India. So we are typically about 30-40% cheaper than what you'd find if when similar solutions you get in Europe or the United States. Um, the third thing, and again, really important, is that typically when you are a SaaS company, you become a product which is one size fit all. And we know that that's never a happy situation for customers, that they say, hey, can you do this change for me, because this is not how my business work and it's very different from what other businesses work. We are happy to do that. We've consistently done that. I mean, for most of our customers today, we have built customized of modules or solutions that sit on top of our basic solution. So if you say that I like this, but can you do one, two, three, four things which are very specific to my business, I'm more than happy to do that. Lastly, again, we have, for any kind of a size of a hotel chain, we are able to dedicate an account manager. So there is personalized service that you get at all times. So our customer success is one of our deepest strengths. And today we have retentions of over 98% when it comes to us signing up a customer. That's it from me. As I end, I want to show some of my customers that we are really proud of. And these are, like I said, based across multiple continents. We are in South America, in the United States, Europe, APAC, and even in Australia. That's my time. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Deepak. Thank you for your amazing presentation. Thank you very much again for being here at Travel Tech, for being supporter of this event. And I hope you see you on Brazil and Portugal on May. I hope you see you there, or someone from your team. Will be a pleasure continue working together. Thank you very much again.
Thank
This
you.
was a
Thank you,
great
Natalia.
presentation. I leave on the screen your virtual stand, so everyone who wants to book a meeting with KePSLA with all their team are welcome to do it by its virtual stand.
Yes, and you can also look at our LinkedIn or our website.
Of course, and on the description at YouTube, you have all the LinkedIn websites and virtual stand from all the companies that are doing its presentations. Thank you very much, Deepak.